Hey, it's Mackenzie in the Delish Kitchen Studios, and I'm making a classic red velvet cake. It has those iconic deep red layers of cake with a sweet cream cheese frosting. First step for our red velvet cake is to mix together our dry ingredients. We have flour, cocoa powder, some baking soda, and salt. There is cocoa powder in a red velvet cake, but not enough to make it chocolatey, just enough to react with the vinegar that we're going to add in later on. Vinegar is also probably something you're not used to seeing in cakes, but the two react together to make a cake really tender and really fluffy. It's a really great combo. Now we're on to the wet ingredients for our cake. Cream together your butter and sugar and beat that until it looks pale and fluffy. Add your eggs one at a time, beating well after each one, and vanilla. Once all the eggs and vanilla are incorporated, add in half of your dry ingredients and mix that just until there's a few dry streaks remaining. Red velvet cake is all about acidic ingredients, and buttermilk is another one, and it also adds a great little tangy flavor to the cake. Then add your buttermilk, vinegar, and red food coloring. Most of the time I like using a gel food coloring just because it's more concentrated and gives you a brighter color, but most people have a liquid-based red food coloring on hand, so that's what this recipe is assuming you're using. Once your food coloring is mixed in, you can add in the rest of your dry ingredients and mix that until well combined. Now that your cake batter is made, you can line and grease your cake pans. Cut out your parchment paper however you prefer. I like to fold it to make a circle, but you can also trace it out with a pencil. Then grease your cake pans with cooking spray on the sides and bottom and add in your cutout parchment paper. Then divide your cake batter evenly between each pan. You can use a scale or eyeball it. Our cakes are ready to go into the oven at 350 degrees just for about 25 minutes until a toothpick inserted in the middle comes out clean. Now it's time for the best part of a red velvet cake, the cream cheese frosting, which is why I think most people love a red velvet cake. In a large bowl, beat together your cream cheese and butter just until nice and smooth. Add your powdered sugar until there are no lumps. Then add your vanilla and salt. You're looking for a frosting that is just nice and creamy and smooth. After you take your cakes out of the oven, let them cool down to room temperature completely, and then you can run an offset spatula around the edge to loosen them and flip them out onto a cooling rack. Before we frost our cakes, we want to level off the tops of them so that we have nice, even, flat layers. That might seem, a little bit tricky, but I have a very easy way of doing it. Place your knife on the side of your cake, and then very slowly, while you rotate your cake, bring your knife in towards the center, and then the top will come off. It's really important to keep your hand level and steady and avoid sawing back and forth because that will cause uneven layers. Don't toss the scraps after you cut off the tops of your cake. We'll save them to decorate our cake with. If you don't want to use them for decoration, you can always use them to snack on or make cake pops with. An easy little tip I like to use when frosting my cakes is if you're frosting the cake on top of the platter you want to serve it on, is to put strips of parchment down under your cake. That way, after you've frosted, you can remove the parchment and you have a clean platter. Place your first layer of cake down on top of your parchment and then add some frosting on top, spread into an even layer. I like to use a small offset spatula when I'm frosting cakes. I think it's just the easiest way to spread it out and get a smooth layer. And then I also like a lot of frosting in the middle of my cake, so don't be shy with the frosting on the inside layer. Add your second layer of cake and then frost the tops and sides. To finish off our red velvet cake, I like to take the cake layers that we saved and just crumble them into pieces and place it around the top border of the cake. Kind of lets everyone know immediately this is a red velvet cake instead of just another vanilla or white frosted cake. It's a great cake to make any time of the year. I've had arguments over my friends whether it's a Christmas cake or a Valentine's Day cake, but obviously you can make it anytime. It's great for both. Let's try our cake. Oh my gosh, this cake is so good. You have just those tall, fluffy red layers with that tangy cream cheese frosting and lots of it. Gosh, it's incredible. It's always a showstopper. It's just so good. It still have those chocolate notes coming through even though there's just a little bit of cocoa powder in it. And this crumb topping, it is zero effort to do and it's so easy, but it makes it look so beautiful and like it came from a bakery. I really hope you bake this cake at home, and for others just like it, stick around here at Delish.com.